So next sections. The next section is this, but before going there, there's one last thing I need to do with the main content area. So in this screen, the height is a little bit smaller than my screen. So as you can see, I have some extra space here that I don't believe it looks quite nice, even though the footer area will become larger as we bump up the font sizes here. But I think it would look better if this whole content right here was centered also vertically. So if this whole these two areas would be moved to the center of this main white area. So I can do that. Once again, I will use the inspector, and I will try to find the element that contains. So this is the main element. So the main, and it has like two elements. So once again, I can use the flexbox property to actually center this element. So for this one, I'm going to just move the DevTools to the left, so I have like more space to work. And I will go here and to the styles. So we have main. You can see by default the main has display block. So I will change the main to display flex. It will move the flex direction to the row, so everything becomes stacked on top next to each other. So I will switch to flex direction column. So nothing changed here. Everything looks like a normal display block. But I will use the line items, the justify content, and I will say center. Now remember, before, when we use the justify content center on another section, I don't remember exactly the section, but we used here on this section, yes, we used the justify between the justify content between right here. It moved on the horizontal axis. That was because the justify content works on the horizontal axis when the flex direction is row. When the flex direction is column, the justify content works on the vertical axis. So right now, center means center these two elements on the vertical axis of this flexbox container. So remember, this is important. Justify content works horizontally when the flex direction is row, and works vertically when the flex direction is column. And also the align items works the other way around. Align item by default on flex direction row works on the vertical axis, and it works on the horizontal axis when we have flex direction column. Okay, so flex content center. Let's see whether we can I will just move this back here. So refresh this and see. Let's see if we have a utility class for align content. So justify content. So we have justify content space between. I will create another one called justify center, and the justify content center. So I'm using these utility classes so that I can reuse them throughout my site. So justify content center, I will just need to apply this to my main. So on my main, I will say class justify center, and it doesn't work. Let me refresh. So because I don't have a flex box, so the main needs to have a display flex in order for the justify content property to work. So in order to make this main content have display flex, I can use another utility class, the flex. So if you apply the flex here, I can have my display flex with justify center. Now I need the flex direction column. So I will use another utility class. So direction, or I will say just column, and flex direction column. So now I can apply these three classes. So flex for display flex, column for flex direction column, and justify center for justify content center. So just by using these utility classes, I can quickly apply these settings to all the elements, any elements I want, just by going through the HTML and adding some classes. This is a really nice use case of the utility classes. So we have everything aligned here at the top, everything aligned here at the bottom.